Have you ever looked at your art and wondered, there's something wrong, it's just not quite working? And you feel like there's something missing, but you can't quite pinpoint exactly what it is. It's probably because you were never taught about the 7 elements of art. In this video, I'm going to explain each element to you and why they're so important and why you need to implement them in your art. I also have a free workbook and guide that will explain all the 7 elements of art. Plus, there are prompts that you can use to elevate your skills in the elements of art. So be sure to click the link and download that workbook right now. So what are the elements of art? Line, shape, form, color, value, texture, scale. If we talk about line, there's all kinds of line that you can make. There's soft line, there's thin line and faint line. There's heavy and thick. Of course, you can change the color up in the line. The line can have fuzzy, blurred edges, or it can be sharp and graphic. There's so many ways to create line. What really makes good art is when you use the elements effectively and variety. If you have a line in your abstract or in your painting, but it's all same. It's the same thickness, same color, and it really doesn't vary or change, then it's super boring, not very sophisticated, and that is what I tend to see in art that is not as good a quality. Same with shape. You know, shapes can be all different types. They can be more geometric, they can be more organic. You can overlap shapes, you can have shapes utilizing the other element of scale and going from big to small, but a similar shape. You can have sort of poetry between shape and thinking about shape. There's negative shape, there's positive shape. There's a lot to cover when it comes to shape, a lot of ways to interpret that and utilize that into your artwork. So even just being conscious of the elements of art as you're creating is going to already elevate your art. What about form, and what is form? So form is the sort of three-dimensionality to an object or to a shape. You know, it could be a flat shape, but by putting dark underneath it, you've given it weight, you've given it mass. So it's the illusion of depth in how you create form. So there is a relationship between form and shape, form and scale, and definitely value. If you look at this ball, the value that in the light source and the values that are in that ball is what gives it form. It gives it the illusion of that three-dimensionality. Okay, color, that is a big one. And there's all kinds of different facets to color. There's saturation of color. It's like everybody's an artist now if you have a smartphone. You pull up a photo, you adjust the value, you adjust the highlights, you adjust the color, you put some kind of filter on it. All those filters is changing the form, changing the values, changing the color, changing the edges, sharpening them, blurring them, softening them. If you want to explore the elements of art, just look at your smartphone and the photo editing. So when it comes to color, of course you have the hue. That is basically what color is it? Is it green? Is it blue? Is it red? Is it orange? That is the hue. And there's all kinds of color theory and color things that you can learn, primary colors, tertiary colors, the relationship of color. We're not really going into that with this. This is more of an overview, but within hue, there's a lot of things to learn about color. Color also has a value. One color, say green, could be dark, but it could also be light depending on its value. And then we already talked about saturation. If it is heavily saturated, then it's going to have a very deep and intense version of that color versus a more muted version of that color. And having variety. So I kind of pre-planned that I'm gonna do my abstract in a color relationship or a color story that I don't normally use, which is basically a violet and green gold combinations. I'm gonna play with saturation. Some of the colors are gonna be muted and more dirty, like a grayish violet, to a more intense, deep magenta or fuchsia type violet. And then there's temperature. So your color could be warm or it could be cool. And I would say out of all the elements of art, the two that I think are most important are value and color. If you don't get color and value right, odds are really good your painting isn't going to be done or executed at a very high level. On the other hand, if you can really get a hold of color and get good with color and very intentional with color, and you can really work color to your advantage, and you nail your value, you will have a fantastic painting, even if the rest of the elements of art sort of fall short. Okay, the next one is value, which I just said is extremely important. That's basically how dark or how light something is. There is a value scale from 0 to 10 or 1 to 10, 10 being the darkest and 0 or 1 being the lightest. And what you want, basically like this statue portrait, is all of the values represented. You want the dark, dark, darks and the highlights, the very light tones, and then all of those midtones. If your drawing or your painting is all in just the midtones and it's missing the darks or it's missing the lights, it doesn't make for a very good piece. So you want that contrast. You want all of the value shades represented. And if you are creating form with it, a three-dimensional illusion, just like this horse, just like this statue portrait, then you need your values to be correct. If it's supposed to be at a value 7 and you have it at a 4, it's going to be off. And likewise, if it's supposed to be a 4 and you have it too dark and it's an 8, it's going to be off. So you want correct value that shows what the light is actually doing. You want those to be accurate. So you really need to train your eye to see value. And it's something anybody can learn in a very short period of time. Another thing you really want to train your eye to see is color in value, because every color and saturation of color and how much tint or how much shade versus how much white or dark value is introduced into that color is going to alter the value of that color. So being able to see, let's say, true red right out of the tube and be able to know and understand what value that's at when it comes to painting and color, that is something you have to train your eye to see. It comes again through practice, but you can pick it up very quickly if that is a weak spot for you. Okay, texture. Now you can have visual texture, you can have actual texture. So actual texture, you can create with impasto painting, so very thick, heavy paint. You can use various mediums like modeling paste to build up that texture. But you can also create the illusion of texture. So a lot of these paintings that you see here have an illusion of texture where there's dry brush, for example, with that broken brush stroke that creates a texture. You can also create negative texture, like you can take your palette knife and scrape into your paint, scratch or remove a level to create a negative texture or a subtractive texture. So there's visual texture, actual texture, subtractive or the removal of texture, the absence of texture that creates in comparison to the other texture. And I think texture is really big right now when it comes to especially abstract art. So scale is really important, and I think it's one of the elements that can help you, along with value and color and line, create depth. If you have big things and then smaller things, it's going to feel like one is closer than the other. If you look at this abstract here, there are shapes that are larger and shapes that are smaller. What that does is it creates this perception of depth. You want variety in your scale. You want very tiny things, small things, medium things, large things, things that overlap and touch each other, and that can be combined with the other elements of art as well. Don't forget, there is a free workbook. You can download that absolutely for free. It will give you all the definitions of the elements of art that I just talked about, plus practical tips on how you can apply that to your artwork and creative prompts where you can apply those and really explore this. So that is exciting. If you enjoyed watching this video, then you will absolutely love the Mastery Program. It's going to help you build your skill, find your voice, develop your style, and create a business plan that works for you so you know how to promote and sell your artwork as a professional artist. Be sure to check the link in the description below.